My last video got a surprising number of likes, which made me upset because of all the mistakes that I made and nobody pointed out, or maybe didn't even notice. So now I'm gonna do so, and prove you that it actually sucks. If you haven't watched it yet, just go ahead and click this annotation. And by the way, yes, I wanted to make an explanation video, but since nobody asked anything, there's really not much to explain. Have you watched the original video already? Well, great, we can now move on. Number 1. In my opinion, first 14 seconds are pretty well done. And by the way, this isn't a mistake. It adds the character more of a realistic look and no. Well, okay, the real problem comes here. As we all know, smoke simulation is done basically using diamond and flow, and some other stuff that isn't important. And as we all know, the diamond casts a shadow that matches its shape, not the shape of the smoke. Therefore, you need to check receive transparent shadows on every single material that you want to receive transparent shadows and receive the shadow of the smoke. See how the wheels, front lights and the wall interior suddenly turn darker? Well, that's where I made diamond appear, and materials which I forgot to check receiving transparent shadows at received non-transparent shadows and shadow of the diamond. Simple. Number 2. As previously said, smoke consists of diamond and flow. The flow is just a mesh emitting the smoke, and is visible in render, so you need to delete it after you complete the simulation process, which I didn't. Number 3. I wasn't sure if I should consider this as a mistake, since it's not really my fault, but I thought that someone might actually learn from it, so why not? See how he holds the lever arm thing? Well, maybe you notice that the motion of his hand is in slight offset with the motion of the lever arm. And that is annoying. I had no idea that this is gonna happen, since I assumed that no matter how it looks on viewport, in render, it's gonna calculate the exact position of the hand for every frame, as it does at most of the things in Blender. But it didn't. So there. Do not ever use Child of Constraint on IK rig. Number 4. This is a really stupid mistake that you probably noticed. The sudden change of brightness is the method that I used to kind of fake HDR. Some shots were too dark and some too bright. So I've managed to put the overall brightness onto one slider in Compositor that I animated later on. And since the brightness changes are mostly in the cuts, it was reasonable to put constant interpolation mode to all of them. And remember the ones that aren't in cut and put a little blending on them later. And again, I forgot about this one. Number 5. This isn't really a mistake. I just animated the scale of the ball randomly when it got out of the shot, in hope that no one will ever know. But then the shadows betrayed me. Number 6. This mistake isn't the compositing, so it appears throughout the video. It's those blue artifacts that you could see. It's only in very bright areas, and is caused by my lack of knowledge about the blend types and compositing in general. I experimented without knowing what single blend types do. Screen did its job, so I don't mind it. Though maybe I could have fixed it by simply adjusting some values. So there you go. It's not as perfect as you thought it was, right? So for the next time, whenever you see any of my videos, don't forget to notice every little mistake and throw it in my face.